There was a lot of hype for Victor Wembanyama entering year 3, and rightfully so. He had already established himself as a bona fide top 10 player towards the tail end of his sophomore season before he was shut down for the year due to blood clots. On top of that, he had a legendary offseason working out with Hakeem, Kevin Garnett, and literal monks. In the preseason, he was playing with a pretty clearly different approach, one that should unlock his potential, and in game 1 of the season, uh, yeah, I would say that that potential has been unlocked. He dropped 40 points, 15 rebounds, and 3 blocks on 77% true shooting in just 30 minutes of action. And he did this against Anthony freaking Davis, making him look like a baby traffic cone in the process. He was so good in this game that the conversation has quickly moved from can he be a top 5 player this year to is he already the best player in the NBA? Let's discuss in our first Film Room Friday of the 25-26 season. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rusty Bucket. Subscribe to the channel and drop a like. Check us out over on Spotify and Apple Podcasts if you'd like to enjoy this as an audio-only experience, although I guess that's not really applicable in the case of these Film Room Friday videos. This is something that we are going to be trying to do every single Friday, breaking down some film. And to be clear, in the case of this video, there's probably not going to be a lot of actual breaking things down or like X's and O's oriented talk anyways, because this game that Wemby had is borderline incomprehensible. Like, there's no point of comparison. There is only shock and awe. Like, I kid you not. Damn near every single thing that Wemby did in this game was the best highlight of the NBA on Wednesday. Like, I went and actually looked at the NBA's top 10 plays from this day, and he only got 2 of them, but if the NBA was being honest, he would have had 9 out of the top 10 plays, and that's also, like, what everyone in the comment section was saying. What I do want to highlight most is how Wemby changed his process, the way he changed his approach to offense. A few days ago, I made a video about some of the adjustments that I'd like to see from him, some of which he began to display in the preseason, shooting less threes, getting to the free throw line a lot more, but it's safe to say that those have translated to the regular season, and they were so effective that he made Anthony Davis look like a fucking scrub. So, without further ado, let's get into these highlights. Top of the key, screen from Vassell, just going to fade right over Derek Lively. That is something that did stand out a lot in this game. Of all of the things that I mentioned that I wanted to see Wemby change up a little bit, I didn't really talk about his mid-range game, which obviously has a crazy amount of potential just because of the uncontestability of his shot, but he clearly worked on that a lot too, and that was very much on display in this game. For me, it was more of an afterthought, but it seems pretty clear to me that it was an emphasis for him this year. AD driving inside, gonna be a pretty easy block for Wemby, or at least they highlighted that, even though I don't think he actually gets the block there, but this is an actual block, although it could have been argued it was goaltending. It was definitely pretty close. Top of the key on Cooper Flag, just gonna drive right to the rim, and AD is too afraid to even jump. Nasty, nasty dunk. Crazy stride on top of that. Really spoiled Cooper's rookie debut. Fakes the pull-up 3, gets Lively behind him, and then just drives inside, gets the pass right back and the pick and roll. Like, that's the reason the 3 ball is developed, because as unbelievable as the guy is going to the rim, Derek Lively still feels the need to jump for this pass, which creates the opening for this roll to the rim. Starts the drive, picks up his dribble, fade away, right over top. Literally, let's zoom in on that real quick. Let me get him at the apex of that shot. Look at Najee Marshall. Look at him here. Do you see this? His hands here. Wemby is shooting here. That's like what, 3 feet of space? And he just shot right over him. That's crazy, dude. It's crazy. Here, Wemby just turns on the jets. Missed shot, but the defense isn't set. The only thing is Dwight Powell is trailing Wemby here, and you can see him just turn it up in extra gear, and there's just no one there, and he can catch that ball and reverse it like it's nothing. A great pass from Stephon Castle. He also had a really good game here. but that's what I'm talking about. I really want to see Wemby used as a pick and roll lob target as much as possible. And like on top of all the other physical advantages that this man has, he is also faster than almost all of the big men in the NBA. He's taller than them, so there's no real size advantage that he does not. Obviously, he doesn't have a fucking size disadvantage. He's added a bunch of muscle, so he's not even really all that scrawny anymore. And he is one of the fastest big men in the entire NBA. And he has these ridiculous strides. Like, I know that we already knew all of that stuff about Wemby, but seeing him put this in practice as effectively as he is in this game, it's really just like, oh shit, it's over, isn't it? It's over. He's officially here. He has arrived. Nice little casual dribble there. And then look, like AD sticks with him well enough, but look how deep he gets into the paint just off of this like pretty minimal dribble move. Just like a little hesitation, then he's right there, backs him down, and he goes up for this hook shot before Davis can even get a hand up. There's no contest there. That's free. Just so easy and so unstoppable. Now he's on PJ Washington, pump fake, reverse dunk with the fucking cradle move on top of that. Teams like to throw a smaller wing on Wemby and then have like a rim protector ready to deal with him, but like doesn't seem to do all that much. One way or the other, he's going to cook you. Even with Anthony Davis lurking there, it's like he might as well not even been there. Here he displays the hand a little bit more. Nice up fake, hits that and one. Didn't even generate that much space that time. But even with Anthony Davis draped all over him, that is still a very makeable shot because there is still like plenty of clearance for his actual shooting form. Like AD is all up in his body, but he's not getting to his hands to actually bother the shot. Nice block there on Cooper Flag. Another block, just mean. That block was really disrespectful. And then takes it up court, dribbles like a guard, like he's Kevin Durant, behind the back move, step back behind the arc, hits the 3 and 1. That is only one of the 2 threes that he attempted, and it was fucking filthy. That is filthy. What are you, how? Literally how? This entire game, I'm like, what do you do? Pump fake, dribble move. This is another what do you do move. What do you do? Look at the footwork. Remember what I mentioned about his footwork in the mid-range? This is some nasty shit. This is like, yeah, he worked out with Hakeem. The step through and the fade bank off glass. Like, Anthony, there's nothing much you can do there. That's so much space after being stopped. Like, he doesn't have his dribble, but he can still generate a good shot out of it. Pick and roll here with Dylan Harper, who finds him back on the roll. Really easy slam. Kind of crazy that he can stretch his way all the way there, because when I watched that originally, it did not look like he was going to quite get the dunk off. But if AD ain't going to jump, then yeah, it's just so free. It's just so easy. Also, shout out to Dylan Harper. He also had a really good game for the Spurs today. Once again, the 7-7 demigod taking the ball up the court, just dribbles by AD and dunks all over him. Again, it's like, doesn't look like he's near enough to the rim, but he has alien arms, so he is. Man, it's just out of this world. He rolled to the rim, was not found there, but no one recovers. Honestly, that's just some bafflingly bad defense. Yeah, that's a bad switch, bro. That's a really bad switch. Cooper didn't even realize until it was a little too late, and then overhelped on Vassell right there. Just a very easy alley-oop. And that's, I know he can feast on these so often, so it's what I've been wanting to see. Fader over Max Christie might as well not even be there. I believe that is the shot that got him to the 40-point mark. Yeah, absolutely crazy. That is like a season's worth of highlights for most players in that one game. Like, that is one of the most impressive, or at least maybe impressive isn't the right move, because like, yeah, bro, 7-7, it's a cheat code. But like, it's one of the most awe-inspiring, one of the most baffling 40-point games I have ever seen. One of the most highlight-packed games that I have ever seen. Like, god damn, man. wild, wild stuff. And I'm sorry that my insight isn't much deeper than holy shit, but I don't know how to analyze this. This is not something that I have ever seen before. But I will still attempt it and mostly just rehash some of my points about his game adjustments. So he took 2 threes in this game, 11 free throw attempts. What I highlighted in my Wemby video earlier is that the guy doesn't get to the line like at all, and that is a massive problem. He literally had a lower free throw attempt rate than Stephen Curry and Kevin Durant, who are notoriously players who do not really get to the line, especially Durant at this age, because KD just does not drive that much. But regardless, seems like he has changed that approach. Not only is he driving more, getting to the rim more, not bailing out the defense with as many 3-pointers, but he's also selling the contact properly. It's kind of hard when you're a player of his stature to really look like you're getting hit, but like he's making it clear that he's getting hit, which you could be a baby about that and be like, man, he should just play as tough and stoic as possible. But like, no, if you want to be a great scorer in the NBA, being able to sell contact is a pretty big part of that. That was obviously not in the highlights much, but like just driving to the rim relentlessly to the point where all you can do is foul him. I like the 2 threes. I still think he should take more than that on average. I'm not, like I said in that other Wemby video, I'm not like out here trying to get him to be Shaq. I don't need him to not take threes. However, I definitely wanted to see him take less, and that's exactly what happened. Something I neglected to mention in that video is that is something that was intentional by the Spurs specifically. They were telling him to shoot threes a little bit excessively just for the sake of developing his game. So not entirely just Wemby's mentalities changing so much as him being allowed to be the most ideal version of himself. But he dominated all game with just a couple of small adjustments. Again, what I will highlight, the mid-range game especially was like really, really good in this game. He only missed, I think he went 14 for 20 or something like that. Barely missing shots. As I mentioned, he had a 77% true shooting percentage, which is incredible. 77.4. Yeah, he was 15 for 21, 9 for 11 from the line. He also had 0 turnovers, which he averaged 4.5 during the playoffs. So he did average 4.5 during the preseason. So I was a little bit worried about that, but no problem here. And actually, the stat line that he had specifically of 40 points, 15 rebounds, 3 blocks, and 0 turnovers, Wemby is the only player in NBA history who has ever done that. First time ever stat line. And like, I get that 40 points isn't that crazy. Dudes score 40 points all the time. Hell, Anthony Edwards scored 40 points and hit a very clutch shot late against the Blazers as well, same day. But like, this is a 40-point game that is more entertaining than the average 60-point game. Like, Wemby is such a walking highlight reel. Everything the man does is a highlight, and I don't think I'm ever going to get used to it. And it was especially baffling in this game because usually Wemby will give you like 3 or 4 otherworldly plays per game, which is still so many. But like, if he has even close to this level of holy shit, crazy plays all the time, he's about to have the most insane highlight reel career in the history of the NBA. And like him driving more, him getting to the rim more, him not taking as many bad threes, that just does that. He's the best defender in the NBA. And if he plays like this on offense, he is the best and most unstoppable scorer in the NBA. Again, I have to say this again. This is Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is one of the best defensive players of his generation. And he looked like a baby out there. There was nothing that he could do to contain Wemby at all. And the Dallas Mavericks as a whole should be built to defend Wemby. They literally started Cooper Flagg at point guard, just this incredibly tall lineup. They had PJ Washington at small forward, Klay Thompson at the 2. So that's like what? Cooper's like 6'8", 6'9", 6'5", 6'6" shooting guard. 6'7", haha, oh my God, 6'7", small forward PJ Washington, and then 7-foot AD, 7-foot Derek Lively. This massive, massive team with double bigs could not contain him at all. I am just baffled by this. I do want to end this with just a little bit of commentary about the Spurs in general, as well as the Dallas Mavericks. For the Spurs, Dylan Harper, excellent. Stephon Castle, excellent. Like, they were setting up Wemby really well. I appreciated how much of Wemby's offense was assisted and how high percentage the offense that he created himself was. I just really think that that system with so many playmakers is the way to make this team and to fully unlock Wemby. And this all happened without De'Aaron Fox, and they beat them by, I think it was 32. Let me double check. 25 plus 8 is indeed, no, that's 33. There's a reason I'm a YouTuber, guys. Yeah, just an incredible Spurs game in general. Really makes me think that they could be a contender this year. I was already on the fence there. And the thing is, like, obviously Wemby's not going to have 40 points on this crazy efficiency all the time. That's not going to happen all the time. But his change in approach and doing this against the defense wins championships roster really makes me think there's no reason he can't repeat this over and over and over again, so long as health permits. Again, didn't even have his best teammate available to set him up. This is scary shit. And like, a lot of people are like, well, it might be over. He might already be the best player in the NBA. Look, I'm not going to give him that based off of one game. But if he averages 30 on incredible efficiency while being the best defender in the NBA, I think he's got a case for being better than Jokic, because Jokic is obviously a much better playmaker, but the defensive difference is so significant. Like, I'd kind of take the defense over the playmaking. I don't know. That will maybe be an interesting conversation down the line, but like, the premise of my Wemby video earlier was like, will he be a top 5 player this year? Yeah, I don't have any doubt about that at this point. I really would be shocked if he was not a top 5 player this year based on this game. But again, based on why this game was as good and effective for Wemby as it was. Crazy shit. The Dallas Mavericks. Some of y'all were way too high on this team. Some of y'all acting like this team's a contender. Maybe when Kyrie returns, I could see it. But there's just not enough offense here. This offense is atrocious. I'm sure Cooper Flagg will be better than he was in this game. In fact, if he isn't, that's a massive disaster. So you gotta assume he will not be this bad. I think he went like, what, 3 for 11 or something like that. Scored his first bucket in the third quarter. 4 for 13. Yeah, double-double, but 4 for 13. 36% true shooting, not what you want to see. I don't think it's fair that he had to go up against Wemby for his first game. Like, yeah, guy who is mostly good around the rim has to deal with the most ridiculous rim protector in basketball. But nah, the Mavericks offense just isn't good enough to be a contender. Again, maybe it is with Kyrie Irving, but historically, Kyrie Irving does not elevate the offense as a whole all that much. He scores the ball, so you have that extra scoring punch, but like, when you look at it historically, the offensive on-off with Kyrie Irving is really not that substantial. It's more of like, he gets his offense and like, he can make the right play. Obviously, they would be better with Kyrie than without him. I'm not trying to say otherwise, but I don't know if he's the difference between the Mavericks being a bad offense and a really good one. And game 1, defense didn't look that impressive. I don't think they're going to have this kind of struggle normally, because they're not going to be dealing with fucking the best version of Wemby that we've ever seen every game. But 92 points is rough. 92 points is really rough. So, yeah, I think people were too high on the Mavericks. We'll see, though. It's one game. You don't want to overreact too much to one game. But again, in the case of this one from Wemby, it's the way that this game went down more than just the game itself. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm so fucking stoked that NBA basketball is back. I actually came to work today, like, really, really pumped to record some videos. And it's been a long time since I've felt that way, because the off season really dragged along this time around. So if you're looking for some regular NBA coverage, I'm going to be posting here, hopefully 6 days a week. And 14 days a week, maybe 13 on the Little Rusty Buckets channel. So yeah, lots and lots of basketball shit to talk. I will be yapping all year. 13 days a week, 13 videos a week. All right, that's it. Goodbye.